Have you ever wondered what happens when we eat, what happens to the food, and how our body deal with this food? Well, Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Faiz and today I'm going to show you about digestive system. First of all, we need to know what is digestive system. To put in a simple definition, the digestive system is the breakdown of a food into a small molecule and absorbed into our body. In other terms, the digestive system is the organ that take in food and liquid and then down and break them down into a substance that the body can use for energy, growth and tissue repair. It also wastes the product that the body cannot use and leaves the body through bowel movement. Now let's take a look at our digestive system. Here are the anatomy of our digestive system. Digestive system is divided into two parts, which is the alimentary canal and the accessory organ. The alimentary canal or the digestive tract is the continuous tube with two openings, which is the mouth and anus. It includes the mouth, pharynx, which is throat, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The food that passes through the interval cavity or the lumen of the digestive tract does not technically enter the body until it is absorbed through the wall of the digestive tract and pass into the blood or the lymphatic vessel. On the other hand, the accessory organ include teeth, tongue, salivary gland, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Now, you may have think why this system is important to us as a human. Well, digestive system is important to us because your body needs nutrients from food and drinks to work properly and stay healthy. Protein, fats, carbohydrate, vitamin, mineral and water are kind of nutrients that you need. When you eat, such as bread, meat and vegetable, they are not in a form that the body can use as a nourishment. Therefore, food and drink must be changed into a smaller molecule of nutrient before they can be absorbed into the blood and carried to the cell throughout the body. So my tips is when you eat, please make sure that you chew it properly so that the body can digest it well.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shazwani and I'm going to talk about what type of digestive system do mammalian have. Different species of animals are able to digest certain type of food. These differences occur because of the various types of digestive system found in animals. There are four basic types of digestive systems, which are avian, ruminant, pseudo-ruminant and monogastric. First and foremost, the avian digestive system is found in poultry, which is birds. Since poultry do not have teeth, there is no chewing will happen. Poultry will break down their food into pieces small enough to swallow by pecking with their beaks or scratching with their feet. Secondly, the ruminant digestive system has a large stomach divided into four compartments, which are the ruminant, the reticulum, the omasum and the abomasum. The ruminant digestive system is found in cattle, sheep, goats and deer. Thirdly, an animal with pseudo-ruminant digestive system can utilize large amount of roughage because of the greatly enlarged cecum and large intestines, which provide areas for microbial digestion of fiber. Pseudo-ruminant often eat forages as well as grains and other concentrated feeds. The mammalian have the monogastric digestive system. As the word monogastric suggests, this type of digestive systems consists of one, which is mono, and stomach chamber, which is gastric. Human and animals have monogastric digestive system. The process of digestion begins with the mouth and the intake of food. The teeth will play an important role in masticating, which is chewing. The enzyme present in saliva also begin to chemically break down the food. The esophagus is a long tube that connects mouth to the stomach. Using peristalsis, the muscles of the esophagus will push down the food towards the stomach. In order to speed up the action of enzymes in the stomach itself has an extremely acidic environment with a pH between 1.5 and 2.5. These gastric juices, which includes enzyme in the stomach, act on the food particles and continue to process the process of digestion. In the small intestine, enzyme produced by the liver, the small intestine and the pancreas continues to process of digestion. The nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream across the epithelial cell lining the walls of the small intestine. The waste material travels to the large intestine where water is absorbed and the drier waste material is compact into feces that are stored until excreted through the rectum.
Now, I will continue for the structure and function of the small intestine. For the structure, can you believe that our digestive system is as long as a bus? It is about 9 meters long all wrapped up in our body. Small intestine is located just below our stomach as it coils in a lip, filling a large portion of our abdominal cavity. The small intestine has 3 sections, with the duodenum being the first section, as it wraps around the pancreas and connects to the pylorus of the stomach. The jejunum is the second middle region of the small intestine, and the ileum being in the third section. At the end of the ileum is the ileocecal valve, which controls the entry of materials into the large intestine. The wall of the small intestine is composed of a mucosa, a submucosa, a layer of circular muscle, a layer of longitudinal muscle, and a serosa. The mucosa and submucosa both have internal circular folds. These folds are more numerous in the duodenum and jejunum, and they increase the surface area, which slows down the movement of materials from the stomach, and also provides for more nutrient digestion and absorption. The small intestine has finger-like projections called villi. Each individual villus contains a rich capillary network as well as selectile, which is a lymphatic capillary. The blood capillaries absorbs most of the nutrients, and the selectile absorbs lipids or fats and lipid-soluble vitamins. There are mainly 2 types of cells that line the surface of a villus: absorptive cells called enterocytes and mucus-producing goblet cells. The enterocytes have tiny hair-like projections called microvilli, which are also known as a brush border. This brush border contains enzymes that complete the chemical digestion or breakdown of nutrients before absorption takes place. There are also tub cells which believe secrete endorphins and enzymes that make prostaglandins, which are a type of fat that enhance the immune system. Between the villi, called crypts or intestinal gland, contains enteroendocrine cells, which are secretes hormone, intestinal stem cells, daughter cells, and Paneth cells, which are also located here, and they protect against bacterial growth. The small intestine is the part of the intestines where 90% of the digestion and absorption of food occurs. The other 10% taking place in the stomach and large intestine. The small intestine has only 2 important functions, which are digestion of nutrients and absorption of nutrients. The tremendous amount of surface area of this organ makes it perfect for it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we move to the part of the small intestine. The small intestine is made up from 3 segments, which each form a passage from our stomach to our large intestine. The small intestine is the site where almost all of our digestion and absorption from nutrient and mineral from food take place. As we can see, the first part of the small intestine is the duodenum, the middle part is the jejunum, and the last part is the ileum. So, what is the duodenum? Duodenum is the first section of the small intestine and the shortest part in the small intestine. It is where chemical digestion using enzyme take place. The duodenum also used bile from the gallbladder, liver, and pancreas to help for the digestion of food. Next, we have jejunum. So, the jejunum is the middle section of the small intestine that lies between the duodenum and the ileum. It has lining, which is designed to absorb carbohydrate and protein. The inner surface of the jejunum is mucous membrane. So, the mucous membrane lining the jejunum covered with millions of microscopic finger-like projection called villi. So, villi contain many capillaries and nutrients pass from the villi into the bloodstream through the capillary. Because there are many villi, they are greatly increase the surface area for absorption. In fact, They make the inner surface of the small intestine as large as the tennis court. Last but not least, the final section of the small intestine is the ileum. Ileum is the final section of the small intestine and usually the longest division part of the small intestine. The function of ileum is mainly to absorb the vitamin B12, bile salts, and any product digestion that were not absorbed at the jejunum. The ileum also has extremely large surface area because the wall itself made up of fold that contain villi on its surface.
From the previous explanation, we know how our small intestine really works. So now, I want to explain more details about our small intestine and what's made our small intestine can digest food so much. As we could know, small intestine is a narrow organ in our body, but it could do such a big job. In our small intestine, it has more features which allow the small intestine to have such a large surface area for absorption, such as mucosal folds, villi, and also microvilli. Firstly, mucosal folds is an inner surface of our small intestine. This feature has a little bit of surface and not a flat surface. Mucosal folds is also thrown into a circular folds as it fits the shape of our small intestine. The fact about mucosal folds is it does not help for our nutrient absorption, but it does plays a big role for digestion as it helps to regulate the flow of digested food through the small intestine. Next, villi. Villi is a form of numerous tiny projections which stick out into the space in our small intestine. Villi are fully covered with cells, which it plays a big role for nutrient absorption, as it really helps to absorb food nutrient from the food that passes through the villi, and then it shuttles the nutrient into our bloodstreams. Lastly, on each of the villi, there are even more smaller folds that stick out into the spacing, which is called microvilli. The microvilli are formed of tiny hair-like structures, which is mostly found in the apical surface of some epithelial cells, such as our small intestine. Although there are cellular extensions, they have a little bit or no cellular organelles present in that microvilli. Microvilli helps for nutrient absorption as it helps to effectively increase the surface area of each individual cells in our small intestine. That means it can absorb more nutrients which needed for our body. From these features, we can know how these small features in our small intestine could really do such a big job for our body in terms for food digestion and also nutrient absorption. It also explains why our small intestine is so long.